what's going on? It's Rev, and I want to tell you about a knife. You know, there are all these reviews on YouTube, and this is the Swiss Army knife, and it's the one that says camping, or it's the camp. I think Swiss Army calls it the camper. And this knife, in this leather holder or holster, whatever you want to call it, this knife the Swiss Army knife camper has been mine since I was about 10 years old. Maybe 9, but somewhere in that range. My dad, I remember very well, took me to a store that was at that time called Sports Unlimited. It was just sporting goods store, and took me over to the knife, gun, fishing. That was back when, you know, all the big box sporting goods stores would have guns. Some of them do now, but lots of them don't. Just a regular sporting goods store, you know, took me out and said, okay, I'm getting you this knife. And this is not a review of this knife per se. This is a review of something that's a good idea, I think, for fathering. I'm a father. I have 3 kids. My dad took us backpacking for most of our vacations when I was a kid, or camping, or some other outdoor thing. Part of that was probably we didn't have a ton of money to spend in those situations. But another part of it was just getting us away from, life was busy. We had tons of stuff going on. I remember when he got me this Swiss Army knife camper. It wasn't the first knife that he'd allowed me to have, but it was something kind of rite of passage-ish about the way, that's right, I coined that, rite of passage-ish, that something about that happened when he bought me this knife. I was super excited about it. You know, he said, put it in your holster that I'm buying, leave it on your belt when we're hiking, you take care of this, you keep this knife. He explained to me that it didn't have a lock on it, so that I'd have to be careful, that when I was, you know, whittling or whatever, that there was some possibility that if I didn't use it correctly, that I could cut my finger, which I soon after did. I shut it on my finger and got a good scar on my hand from it when we were on a backpacking trip. And such is childhood, and this is the way that you learn to become, you know, a man, by being allowed to do some things that are slightly more risk oriented or slightly more dangerous, you know, whatever you want to say. My dad gave me a pocket knife. It's not a big thing. It's not like some kind of a crazy idea. Generations of men have given their sons pocket knives and taken them into the woods. But some of my friends, if I had this conversation with them right now, would act like, from their, you know, negative Nancy kind of perspective, that my dad was crazy to give a child what they would call a weapon. By the way, I dare you to really, really harm me with this Swiss Army knife. You know, look, if you're coming after me with it, I don't want to get stuck with anything. I don't want to get cut with anything. But this is going to be hard to utilize, to wield as a weapon against somebody that is fighting back at all. Okay, so this is a tool, not a weapon. Get your stuff straight. Anyway, so he gave me this, and I had all kinds of fun with it. But here's something that stuck in my mind, something I wanted to share with you. There was something that was more important than this knife to me. There was a trust that he was placing in me when he handed me this knife, when he spent his money as he was working hard to give me this. And when he told me, son, I don't want you to lose this knife. This knife means something more to me than any knife ever could. I hope you understand that. Case in point, I have had so many more expensive knives that are lost, that I spent my hard-earned money on, and that other people have given me, and that even my father have given me, that in normal use and whatever I have broken or lost. But yet this one, what was that? I was 9 or 10, and I'm 34 now, so 20 plus years ago. This knife and the sheath that he gave it to me in, I still have. Why? Because when he said, son, I want you to use this responsibly. I'm trusting you. I don't want you to lose it. He was giving me his trust. He wasn't just giving me a knife. And he was calling me to a life of responsibility. He was calling me to step up and to take my life to the next level. At least that's what it felt like. And there are lots of things like that. Some between my dad and I, some between other mentors and myself. But there's something important about you putting trust in the next generation. There's something important about calling them to a life of responsibility. And there's something important about allowing them to take risks and putting something in their hand that's more than just a gift, but could be something that they could use to help or to harm the world. And you're trusting them to do what's right with it. There's something to that. So anyway, thanks for taking the time. Love to know what you think. If you like the videos, comment, like, share, subscribe. If you don't like the videos, I'm okay with that. You can tell me if you want. But for the most part, who really cares? Keep your opinion to yourself. And thanks for the time. If you have something that you'd like to hear about, some kind of review, something like that, let me know. Let's make this a conversation. Have a great one, guys.